Doug, first to you. Obviously, as a former member of Congress, you know very well the power that they have here and how critical it is for transparency.
Well, you would hope that the Department of Justice would now honor the fact that the investigation report is now in and is over, according to them, that they would provide the documents to Congress for that oversight. I have no thought that they might do that anytime soon, because this Department of Justice has drug its feet, has obfuscated so many times in dealing with a Republican Congress that it is frustrating. And I think that's one of the biggest issues coming out of this whole thing, is just the complete lack of consistency out of this Department of Justice when it comes to dealing with the Bidens and the Democrats as opposed to dealing with Republicans.
Yes, and yesterday, you know, we saw the report from her, and then this press conference last evening, Senator Santorum, which seems to have done more damage as he's trying to defend or refute that he has no cognitive decline. And here's one of the exchanges where he's talking about Mexico and the Middle East. So bizarre. Let's play this.
The conduct of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
The Rafah Gate in Egypt. I know the border's been a big issue as well. He does not correct himself. If this was a Republican, can you imagine what we'd be hearing today, Senator Santorum?
It just demonstrates that the mental acuity is not there. This is a man who is who's dealing with real issues of cognitive issues. It's perfectly clear. It was made clear by the report, but you don't need a report. All you have to do is watch any kind of interchange that he has, and how, I mean, number one, and how limited they are, how controlled they are, and when they're not controlled, how poorly he does. And so the public gets this. I mean, it's not something they can hide from the public. The question for them is how much they're going to continue to hide, and how complicit the legacy media out there is going to be in covering for President Biden.
Well, we're going to watch at 1:30 the White House briefing. No doubt there will be some serious questions. Even the photographs that we knew the White House was concerned before this report does show really the lack of care. So if you're Donald Trump, Mar-a-Lago gets raided. If you're Joe Biden, I mean, frankly, the boxes in notebooks and near that Corvette, Doug, I mean, part of that, too, shows the weaponization. I think a lot of people are saying two-tier justice yet again.
It does, and I think the interesting part is they determined to raid Mar-a-Lago in the early morning with a lot of federal agents. They actually asked and set up a time with the lawyers for Joe Biden on when they would actually go and look at the different locations that they were going to look at. Look, the whole problem is here, and I've heard this talked about a lot over the last day, is that these cases are separate, that Joe Biden cooperated, Donald Trump didn't. Let's just go back to the simple fact. Donald Trump has a defense on anything going forward in this case as to the fact that he could actually declassify these documents. That's something that will come up in trial. Joe Biden has zero defense, none. Not a one, not happening, except he's mentally incompetent, is according to what special counsel said, to stand trial because they don't think they could get a conviction. This is the biggest difference in which people look at this and say, why is Donald Trump being treated so differently than any of the Bidens, any of the Clintons, anybody else? And I think that's just going to depend more and more on what this election cycle looks at. And really, it's going to be determined more toward the late cycle is, do you vote for Joe Biden? And really, in essence, they're voting for his running mate, Vice President Harris. And I think that's going to become a real statement as this campaign goes forward. And now there's reasons to actually show from a, quote, third party that this is happening.